Careful, careful.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to show you guys what went wrong with the car, what I'm going to do next, and how we're going to build it back up. Here's the dog bone. This one totally bent, completely unusable. The RX cat pack, it survived. It's a hard case, so we're going to reuse that. I'm going to take the motor and spool out of the car so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let's disconnect the sensor wire. Here everything looks all right. Okay, and I think this is where my failure is. If you notice, there's no bearing. No bearing here and no bearing here, and this bearing just disintegrated, and these were the full ceramic bearings that I put on the spool. Maybe they couldn't handle the RPM, the force, torque, whatever the case may be. Once the bearings went out, it pushed the dog bone towards the back, and it bent it, and that's why this happened. So definitely this is what failed. Just by turning my diffs, they feel very smooth. I don't seem to have any problems. I'm still going to take the spool apart, the diff lockers, I'm sorry. I'm going to take the diff lockers, I'm going to check them. I'm going to check the whole car. I don't know if you can see it here, but let me show you. The cat pack, it got hit there, it got hit there, and also here. I'm not going to use the cat pack because here it seems like there's a big hit there on that capacitor. So no, I'm not going to use it anymore. If you can see, the wires are busted there. So what's next? Well, one of the things that I want to do is, this is a limitless spool, and if you can see the set screw on the limitless, it has a pin, and the pin goes all the way to the other side. So there's no way that this is going to fail, because it's not just a little set screw, you know, holding it tight. There's also a pin that goes all the way to the other side. I want to try to do the same thing with the diff lockers, so they're not just held with red Loctite, and definitely they can come loose. So I'm going to use the same set screws that are on the limitless spool, and I'm going to do it to the diff lockers front and rear, and I think that's going to help us avoid any major failure there. What's next for the car? Well, if you've seen some of my other videos, you'll notice that for a couple of months I've had the XLX2. I think it was in its box, but I took it out. We also got the this little carbon bracket for the switch, so the switch is not thrown around in the car. And here's the 1100 kV motor. So basically, I'm going to take out this ESC, I'm going to flip the motor mount, and I'm going to build the Infraction back again with the XLX2 and the 1100 kV motor. We already have a gear from Saga. We have another cat pack from Flowpack. This is an 8S rated, so new cat pack. This one, no good, gone. So I'm going to take the whole entire car apart. I'm going to check everything. I'm going to make the necessary changes, and I'm going to see how I build the car with the XLX2 and the 1100 kV, and see how I'm going to design it, whether I'm going to mount the ESC in the front or the back, where I'm going to put the batteries. I do have some carbon sheets here. If I need to, I'll make a battery tray for it. So that's where we're going to take the car. That's where we're going to go with the project. Don't see any damage on the bottom. I don't see any damage to the carbon. Definitely there's little scrapes on the rear diffuser, some on the rear carbon. The rear dog bones, both of them are fine on the rear, they're fine in the front, no issues. With the current setup, I'm going to put this on the limitless. I'm going to gear it down a little bit, maybe somewhere around the 120 130 mile per hour, and we're going to continue to build this to test our limits and how fast we can go. Well guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and I'll see you on the next one.